Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about one of the most important topics of the year. Yeah, you heard me.
Of the year.
And that is a races paragraph.
Did she just say racist?
Yeah, dude. No. Races. R-A-C-E-S. Races is basically a formula for writing, or you could say a recipe. So let's get started. Okay, R has a lot of different meanings. Some teachers say it's for respond to the question or restate the prompt. We're gonna be a little bit more like pirates in this class. So we're gonna say that R stands for who or what are you talking about?
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
A stands for answer the question. C is cite evidence, and E is explain. Now kids always ask me, why are there two E's? Why can't we just do one E? And I'll tell you why. Because double is always better. All right, guys, let's talk races. So as I stated before, R stands for what or who are you talking about? And that's fine if you want to talk like a pirate to help you remember. So the first step to writing a good paragraph is to tell the reader who are you talking about? For example, if our question was, what is the central idea of Cinderella? We have to assume that our reader doesn't know who Cinderella is. Now, I know many of you know who she is, but maybe your reader was born in another country or speaks another language, or maybe their parents just never told them that story. So you would need to explain who she is. So you could start your paragraph with something like, Cinderella was a girl who was treated very badly by her stepmother and stepsisters after her father passed away. Okay, and that would give a good intro to your paragraph. A is answer the question. It's one sentence, and you want to always answer in a complete sentence. No fragments here. Never answer the question with another question. And please do not say I, or I believe that, or I think that. I know in elementary sometimes you write sentences like, I think that Cinderella is a good person. And that's because in elementary they just want you to write, but now you're in big kids school and we need to get rid of that bad habit. Okay? Your name is going to be on your paper, so I know it's you. All right? We know you're the one writing, so you don't need to tell us that. So instead of saying, I believe that Cinderella was a good person, you would just say, Cinderella was a good person. Okay? So the question is, what is the central idea of Cinderella? We would just rephrase this by cutting out the what is. We would say, the central idea of Cinderella is to believe in yourself, to work hard to achieve your dreams, or everyone is valuable no matter where you come from. So it could be any of those, whatever you would like to write about. All right, C, what does cite mean and what is evidence? Let's find out. Cite is to quote or reference the story, article, or book. And evidence is the piece of text that helps you prove your point. So cite is just to use the text, right? And evidence is the part of the text you choose to use. And don't worry, it'll get less confusing as we move on. Okay, C is one sentence long. It's a direct quote from the text. You must use quotation marks around the quote, and you must include the page number. And you can begin your sentence with for example or for instance. All right. So I like to tell my students that if you go to a courtroom and the judge is asking you to tell your story and they're trying to prove that someone is guilty of a robbery, you have to use evidence to prove that. Okay, you have to use evidence such as the glass being broken on the door or the window, and you have to prove by using evidence that maybe there was a hair strand that was found in the store that matches somebody. So you use all kind of evidence like that. Okay, so here's an example. So our A sentence would be, the central idea of Cinderella is that inner beauty is more important than looks. For example, so now we're going to try to prove this. So for example, when the prince found Cinderella in her plain clothes and covered in dust from cleaning and the glass slipper fit, he stated, Cinderella, you are the most kind girl, and I wish to marry you over anyone else in the kingdom. So the fact that he said you're the most kind girl, did he care if she was the most beautiful? No. Did he care if she was the most rich? No, because clearly she was covered in dust and she was cleaning, but her inner beauty was more important than her looks. So this example, this C, proves what I was trying to say. Okay. Now, E. E is explain. It is 2 sentences long, not 1, it's 2. And they begin with, this shows that, this proves that, or this is important because. These are your own words and opinions. As a teacher, this is the part that I'm going to look at the most because it's you speaking. It's not the text speaking. So once you gave a quote about saying that she's the most kind girl and he wishes to marry her over anyone in the kingdom, now it's your turn to explain why that's important. So again, going back to the robbery, if you were in the courtroom and the judge says, well, who cares that the glass was broken? What does that prove? Why is that important? You would say, well, judge, this shows that somebody forced their way into the store. They didn't use the door. They didn't have a key. They broke the glass. So this proves that somebody broke in. Okay, so what does him saying you are the most kind girl have to do with anything? Well, it shows that the prince cared more about Cinderella's character than her looks. And this also shows that Cinderella was beautiful in her own way. Okay, you always have 2 E sentences. All right, and we finally come to the last sentence, which is S for summarize. Now, I definitely think it's one of the easier sentences of the paragraph. It's 1 sentence long, and this is where you as a writer end your paragraph by summarizing the whole point of the paragraph. So sometimes I tell my students, just ask yourself, why did I write this? What was the whole point? And you can begin it with overall, all in all, or in the end. And this is kind of what it would look like. So you have your A, C, E, and then finally your S sentence. So overall, while looks may influence how people initially see someone, it is their soul and heart which will remain the most influential. Okay, so the whole point was to try to prove that, yeah, looks are great, but really it's what's on the inside that counts. And we proved that through using Cinderella. Okay, so as long as you follow this, you'd be good to go. All right, kiddos, as long as you follow that formula, you're going to do great in this class. And you can use this formula all the way up through 8th grade, even high school, all the way even to college. Heck, you can use it in your job someday. If your boss asks you to write something out, like a report or a paragraph, you can use this RACES formula. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you have something to say. And remember, always work hard and stay kind.